Welcome back to the Down the Stretch portion of our show. It's the interview, the always great interview. And I'm here today with a special guest, Dave Harmon. Now, Dave, welcome to the show.
Well, it's great to be here.
And you're a Wizard. You know the Wizard for many years. How do you know the Wizard?
I used to come up here. I used to bring my dad, and I used to buy the Wizard. At that time, I lived in Central Jersey, and I used to come up here to bring him up because he was a horse racing fan. And the one thing I would do before I went in the track was get the Wizard.
Right, from outside the street or inside?
Outside the street, just right when you went in. They used to sell it right there, and you know, so I'm very familiar with the Wizard.
Well, for those that don't know, Dave Harmon is phone, huh?
Yeah, we got to turn this off. I'm sorry.
No problem. So Dave is we had on a guest last week that I've seen at the racetrack, Harry the Valet.
Oh, Harry Rice.
Okay, so Harry Rice was my guest last week.
He's a great guy. I've known Harry for a real long time, and his son Harry Jr. and
great, tremendous guest. And I go back to the mid-'80s with Harry when Harry started. But the amazing thing about it is that I never met Harry personally. I just knew him from the TV set. I'd always see Harry Rice in every winner's circle picture doing something, whether unsaddling a horse, walking through the paddock. And same with you, okay? I seen you from afar for so many years in the paddock taking pictures of the winner's circle, right? So I deem everybody a nickname, but it's got to come to me, okay? And I studied you throughout this meet because I got wind that Tom was thinking about putting you on. I had to get a feel for you. And about a week ago, I finally had the nickname that just came to me. So I am christening you this nickname from the Wizard, which will live on forever. So I put my hand on your head, and you're now named Clickety Click. Not Clickety Clack, but Clickety Click.
Right.
Now, the reason you just have a clickety movement, okay? When you get your camera, it's in a box, a wooden box to the right of the paddock, and you pull it out, and you're clicking away, and you have a movement, you have a style. And when I thought of Clickety Click, has anybody ever named you Clickety Click?
Nobody's named me Clickety Click, but I thanks to Adam Coglianese, who was the track photographer, and his dad, who just passed away in November, they let me use the box there, and you know, I really thank them for that, and I built a pretty good friendship up with them. And so yeah, I get the camera out of the box there in the winner's circle, and you know, I've been doing it for Skip Dickstein is my mentor, who when I first moved up here in '96, I used to help him out, and we both he worked for the Blood Horse, and I used to help him with the remotes that you see on the ground underneath the rail. So then it reached a point where I said, you know, I really want to shoot. So then I started shooting, and the rest is history. I've been very fortunate. I was shooting for the Blood Horse for a number of years up until, you know, right around COVID. And I used to do all the Triple Crown races, the Breeders' Cup. I was fortunate enough to go to Dubai 9 times, and you know, my one goal when I moved up here was to go to the races every day, and own a restaurant.
Okay.
And I owned a restaurant, which I still do, and I shot every race, went to the races every day. So I filled both of those goals of mine. And Then the Saratoga Special came about 21 years ago, so I've been doing photography for Joe and Sean Clancy for 21 years, and I can't say enough about them, Sean, Joe, and Tommy Law, and you know, the number of people that they have gone through the Saratoga Special who have, you know, like Quint Kesnick, who works for ESPN, and the track announcer at Churchill, John Paragallo, who was a jocks agent, now he's a bloodstock agent. You know, the number of people that have worked for the Saratoga Special is just amazing. So they've had some really neat people.
So you, Adam, you know, I know Adam, I knew his father, Bob. So you work independently from one another?
Yeah, Adam is the track photographer. I'm just an independent contractor. I don't work for NYRA. I work for, up here I shoot for the Saratoga Special.
So,
and I used to shoot for the Saratoga Special and the Blood Horse, but when the Blood Horse was bought out, they cut back, so they really cut back on their photographers.
So you're taking pictures of, like, are you taking the pictures when the winner crosses the finish line?
Yeah, I do the finish and the winner's circle. They don't use a lot of winner's circle pictures, but and you know, like yesterday, I went out and I shot the last race, the mile race coming out of the chute, which I normally don't get a chance to shoot that, but because it was off the grass, I went over there and shot that. So, you know, that was kind of neat too.
But owners that buy the pictures are buying it from Adam.
Yeah.
And you're an independent contractor that is giving these pictures good shots.
Yeah.
Whatever the shot.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, the Special, there's two of us that shoot for the Special, myself and Todd Marks, and you know, we've been shooting for the Special right from the start. You know.
So you take a whole bunch of pictures and you send them everything and they decide what they want to use?
What I do is I edit pictures from every race, and then I give them all the edited copies, and then they pick out whichever ones they want to use. I mean, going back before COVID, they're only doing a paper pretty much Wednesday and Saturday now, except for the horse sales, which they do a run of 6 straight days. Prior to that, when they ran 6 days, they used to put a paper out 5 days.
Really?
So they used to have a picture from every race. They used to have a recap from every race every day, and they would use more pictures. But now that they've cut back, they kind of pick and choose what they use. And, you know, like, for instance, Saturday and Sunday's races will be in the Wednesday paper, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and whatever is happening on Saturday with a stakes race, they put in the Saturday paper.
Were you always a photographer? Like, was it a hobby of yours as growing up?
I had a camera when I was growing up, and once I moved up here and I met Skip, and I mean, I always liked horse racing, and then, you know, he needed some help, so I used to help him and do the remote cameras and push the button on the inside rail. And, you know, then it reached the point where I said, you know, I really want to shoot. I really like this. So, you know, Skip was, like I said, my mentor, and I started shooting, and from there, the rest is history, I guess you can say.
Now, I never shot a camera only on an iPhone, right? So when I decided to do this show, you know, I had to figure out, you know, what the hell do I do to, you know, shoot a video? And I have this Sony camera that does the trick, right? And it's high quality, and it does what, you know, so you can actually get, I mean, you probably have very high quality equipment.
Oh,
right?
yeah. The cameras are, you know, we shoot, I mean, you're talking about a camera body that we use. You're talking about $6,500 to $7,000 just for the body. That doesn't include the lens. then you're talking, depending on the lens you have, you're talking anywhere from, you know, 1,700 to up to probably $5,000. So it's almost like driving a car, I guess I could say, if you.
Well, that's why these pictures are so outstanding.
You know what, Mike? It's amazing. I got a new camera before the meet and a new lens, and the quality is just so good that, you know, when you look at it, you just say, and I mean, I've been doing it a while, you just say, wow. I mean, it's like tack sharp.
What are like that come to mind, like 3 of your favorite shots? Do you have like something like you just, I know you've taken so many, but are there any that just like, wow?
You know, I shot the Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita, and it was the first time there was a dead heat. High Chaparral and Johar, and I shot it from the inside.
So they're hitting the line, and you're on the.
It was.
Did you catch them on the dead heat, like right at that moment?
I mean, it was like unbelievable, and you know, people said, you're going to win the Eclipse Award, which I didn't, but that's okay. You know, it was just a moment that, and a picture that I'll never forget.
Another one come to mind?
You know, boy, there's so many good ones. You know, I had the cover when Georgie Chavez won the Derby. But you know,
I have pictures that I have that are hung up in my place, and I have one of Ruffian that was outstanding. It's just an outstanding, just galloping with Jacinto Vasquez. I have one of Secretariat gliding that Bob Congolese took, gliding down the stretch that I just love watching. I have the Affirmed Ali Dar stretch battle that I love. And I have a picture of Seattle Slew in the paddock. And that one is outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
And Zenyatta. I have Zenyatta.
You know, now that you bring up Zenyatta, I mean, I shot Zenyatta a fair amount. And when Zenyatta won, it was at Santa Anita. That's kind of a favorite of mine.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, what a beast of a horse, huh?
You know.
I mean, she was an Amazon.
Yeah, I'll tell you another one that American Pharoah.
Yes, Belmont Stakes.
No, you know what? You're not gonna believe what race, the Haskell.
Really?
Because it was just it was a great shot. All 4s off. Victor just very animated, you know, and that was pretty special because when American Pharoah won the Triple Crown at Belmont, there were 2 of us on the track, two photographers, and then Miguel, the outrider, was coming back, and you know, here he's coming back, and we're both on the track and we're talking with him. And I've never been, and I've been a lot of races and a lot of big races, but the emotion and the electricity of American Pharoah winning the Triple Crown was just like,
that's a part.
Unbelievable.
I have a segment. It's a little break between the segments of the show. The show where my son is plastered. He's got a top hat on. American Pharoah wins the Triple Crown, and he's saying, and I have a video of the crowd, and he's going, holy shit, he won the Triple Crown, he won the Triple Crown. And you see a shot of the crowd. And the only other shot that it reminds me of is the day that I was at Belmont for Secretariat, when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. The only difference between the 2 days was that when Secretariat won the Triple Crown, the stand shook. I actually felt
Wow.
Belmont Park shaking.
Wow.
And I didn't, that wasn't the same when American Pharoah, it was the crowd and the energy and the noise of that. So when the season is over, you're here living in Saratoga. You said you run a restaurant?
Yeah, I have, well, I had two at one time. I had the Stadium Café on Broadway.
I remember, I know that one.
Which I opened that in fact, we opened in the middle of the track season of 2002. And then I opened the West Side, which is on the corner of Congress and Franklin, up the hill from the Embassy Suites. I opened that October 1st of 2005. So I had two at the same time. And then since I sold the property on Broadway and I bought the property on the West Side, so I just have that one. But
it's like a pub?
Yeah, I would say it's more of an upscale sports restaurant. I mean, I don't know if because our menu is pretty diversified. I mean, we have dinners and good appetizers and sandwiches and all that, and you know, we just have a great customer base that comes in. I mean, they call it the Cheers of Saratoga. So we got some pretty neat characters that come in.
Are you there a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in and out. I mean, it's tough during the racing season because I leave to go to the races at like 12 o'clock and I don't get out of there until like 7.
And you must be it's tired, a long day.
Oh, yeah, it's a long day. So it's, I mean, you know, it's kind of, I would say, like what you do. It's a love of the game, and I mean, you know, the game's changed. I mean, the horse is still running, all that, but you know, it's definitely a different game than it used to be.
In what way, in your opinion?
Well, you know, back when you had Woody Stevens and Mac Miller and Scotty Schuhofer and guys like that, you know, it's you just don't have that old blood, you know. I mean, there's very few of those guys around, and you know, you have a lot of the syndicates and things like that, which you never had that before.
Winner's Circle pictures need a wide angle now.
Oh yeah.
Because you know, these syndicates have so many people in the winner's circle.
And the guys from West Point, they're very, very good friends of mine, Terry and Tommy, and you know what, they're fantastic, and you know, they do a really, really good job, and you know, and you got, there's so many of them. I mean, I go back when Cot Campbell was involved in
Dogwood,
you know, and I'll never forget, I was in Dubai one year and Cot was there, and you know, they used to have this desert party, and you know, they had the camels, and I mean, you know, it was off the chart. I mean, everything was like first class. So he sees me and he says, "Hey Dave." I said, "What?" He said, "Don't tell anybody about this place." You know, I mean, it was pretty neat, and I was fortunate enough to go there 9 times, and you know, they love their racing. I mean, it's just there's no betting there. I mean, they simulcast back here in Europe, and you know, but the people just love it.
Well,
and they do a great job there. And I feel very honored that I was able to do that for that many years. You know, I saw some really great horses, you know, Pleasantly Perfect and Roses in May, and you know, I mean, they came from all over the place. I really feel that it's kind of lost its luster. You know, it's not like it was when it first started, and things kind of, you know, when they start, I mean, it's just like, you know, the Pegasus, you know, that had a lot of luster at the beginning, and now it's kind of, they still run it, but it doesn't have the luster that it had, you know, and, but.
Well, Dave, the game has changed. Ooh. The people in the game have changed. but you haven't changed.
Well-
and don't change, because you are, one of the characters that have stayed the course for many years, and that makes you one of, in my opinion, one of those unsung heroes that, have so much to say. And I'm really glad that I've been able to put you on the show to have people know who's behind the lens and who's there every day. That is an important part of this game. The pictures tell a million words, and you certainly take a lot of great pictures. I'll tell you that.
Well, I appreciate that very much, and you know what? Just like clickety-click I am, I don't know what nickname I would give you. I guess we'll still call you the Wizard.
I don't have any other nickname. Maybe the Gizzard. I mean, after a really bad day, people have shouted out other names to me. Mostly obscenities. But I'll always be the Wizard.
I mean, you know what? We can't be 100% all the time, but you know what? We do our best.
Right, and you certainly do your best. Dave,
thank you so much.
Clickety-click, thank you so much for being on the show.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
And thanks for...
Visit wizardracingsports.com and purchase now. Since 1986, the Wizard has been your source for the best handicapping products for the always challenging Saratoga meet. Wizard selections include analysis and wagering strategies for every race. Wagers are updated after late scratches. The Wizard wagers every day, backing up his opinions with his own money. Visit wizardracingsports.com and purchase now.